Everyone, mouth noises.
I actually hate that. Don't put that in there. It's so gross.
It's so gross. All the time, I'm like, oh, Molly's going to cut that out. And she doesn't. And then I'm like, she's like, we've started recording. And I was like, what?
When?
Like,
When did that happen?
You can't do anything. Okay, here we go. Hi.
Hi there. I'm B.
And I'm Molly.
Welcome to Flood Femmes.
That was
the worst.
your whole plan just sank us right there. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it was real
you know
rough.
what? Let's never speak of this.
Let's not. Let's
We
not even
have
try.
a special guest, and it's the best.
It's very, very exciting. Mm-hmm. We have the fanciest Miss Whitney.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
I believe that we would do less of a good job explaining what Whitney does than Whitney would.
Oh, it's absolutely true. Before we delve into that part, I'd like to just talk about how we met Whitney.
I picked her up at the gym.
So
Yes,
she was.
I watched you pulling that rowing machine out of one room, struggling, trying to get it around the corner.
That's true. I
Yes.
was looking good in my relocation of
I was
the
definitely
rowing
like,
machine.
oh, what
They're
is she
so
doing? You
long.
can move stuff
They're
in the
so
gym.
long though. How do you get them through the door? You're pulling and they're 12 feet long and you got to bank a corner.
You do have to bank a corner. But Molly's little thing has always been when she is in the gym and she sees somebody that she thinks she hasn't seen before or they might be new, she tackles them. If they're a woman,
I want them to know that they belong and it's friendly there and we're the best gym.
it's just and
I
and
got
that you're
that
the
vibe,
best.
so that was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So poor Whitney is just chilling, doing her workout. And then Molly is like, hi, there's a class going on. Hi. What's your name? How are you?
Want to be friends with me?
As she's on the row machine, still rowing, and I'm like, oh yeah, look, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm standing here.
I'm like, hey, do you need a friend? I'll be your friend.
I
Did
always
you
need a
think
friend.
she was hitting on you?
It could have been mistaken for that, but I don't think so. I'm very genuine, Barbara. Very genuine.
Yes.
Okay.
I definitely enjoyed it. It was nice.
See?
Yeah.
We picked up Whitney at the gym. Like she was a fine piece of booty, which she is, but that's beside the point.
Quite stunning. Her website, holisticandhormonal.org. Holisticandhormonal.org. I will say the picture is, we were talking about this before, is not as magnificent, breathtaking as you are in person, but it is still quite lovely.
I do agree. We're gonna take a better picture in the podcast outfit and put that on there.
100%.
I would do that. That sounds great.
100%. So what's your lowdown?
Oh,
Tell
by
us
the way,
about-
your logo is crazy pretty.
I love my logo.
It's so
much.
nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had to pay for that. So
well, money well spent.
yes, I'm glad I like it a lot. So my company, it's Holistic and Hormonal. It's a functional medicine company. If you don't know what functional medicine is, which most people don't, it's getting to the root cause of your issues. My most basic analogy is that if you have high cholesterol because you've gone to the doctor and they do the tests and stuff and that's what they tell you, then they usually give you a medication to lower your cholesterol and then they're just like, oh, go do some dietary changes maybe and
Right.
be on your way.
Okay.
And so instead of doing that, functional medicine would look at you and say, okay, well, these are the things that are causing your high cholesterol and let's work on that instead of giving you a medication.
Oh.
Being holistic and hormonal myself, what type of people do you work with?
So mostly women. I can do lots of times women come in with husbands or their spouses and I'll treat them, but I really like the ladies. I mostly do that because I'm also a midwife. So I don't know if I told you guys that.
That's
freaking cool
amazing.
is
Yeah, I don't think I
that,
told you guys
man?
that. So I like women.
cool.
Yes. I don't like
When was your last birth?
it's been a hot second.
Yeah.
But I just
Oh, because you
announced
just
that I will do more.
relocated.
Yeah, so I came from Pennsylvania and I was working out the local hospital and it wasn't, I didn't have a great time. So
Yeah. Hospitals can be kind of weird. So you probably heard on some of our other podcasts discuss like strokes and stuff. So we're frequent flyers at hospitals, and we kind of have, there are some
challenges?
They're not homey at all.
yeah.
But there are some nice birth centers. So it sounds like the hospital you were at didn't have maybe that.
It was nice. I think I was just too crunchy for me, or they are also very busy, and so I'm also not used to the volume that they had. So it just wasn't really a good fit for me. I think that the hospital's still great.
It was a lot of volume.
It was just not a great fit for me.
Do you think it was connection, that you work through connection, and at that high volume that's harder to do?
Well, yeah. I mean, the office visits were pretty okay. They still have you do lots of things. So the hospital I was at in Pennsylvania, I used to have to see 25 people in 8 hours, and this hospital was like 18. So it was, but I think it was still too busy, and everyone's really complicated here. Yeah. All the ladies on the seacoast have anxiety and depression.
That's true.
It's so true. You guys were good at something in New England.
Yeah. In New England, we're really good at being complicated, and we're really good at, there's layers. We are onions around here. It is a layer upon a layer.
And our alcohol sales are so high.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
There's a lot of that. So that's interesting. I am my familial history makes it so that I'm kind of predisposed to having postpartum. So because of the hormone thing and everything else that was complicated, I actually did acupuncture for pre and post menopausal care, and not menopause, birth. I should be doing it for menopause, but pre and post birth care. And I found it to be really effective. I did not struggle the way some of the members of my family did. So whether it be my personal biology or because it actually works because it's a 2,000-year-old medicinal system.
I would hope
we
it works,
can't
right?
know.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I think like chiropractic care during pregnancy and acupuncture care are like the most amazing things that you can do for your body to help be pregnant and not be complicated and all that stuff. And nutrition.
I did do a cranial sacral care chiropractic.
I did a cranial sacral once too.
I thought it was real weird. I had basically just a real weird meditation, because he said, imagine yourself.
You said he, first of all. That's your problem.
Oh, that could be it. He did this meditation where he was like, imagine yourself in your body, which I did. So I imagined myself as a little tiny person.
Weird.
And then he went to like, imagine your baby. So then I was imagining myself as a little tiny person looking up at this huge baby. And I was like, it's a monster.
So you missed
it was like crushing me.
You missed the mark.
Anyhow, it was
You
probably
digress.
operator error, I think, on that meditation practice.
I love it. So what is you focus mainly on changing diet and changing kind of health, and do you focus on workouts, or
what do you focus on? What do you do?
What do I do? So lots of nutritional changes, lots of mind-body connection types of things. So nervous system regulation and working out. I do. So some women who, I think you guys talked about this in one podcast, how you did like lots of HIIT training and stuff, and you get lots of thyroid issues.
Oh yeah, that did happen to some of the folks we know, particularly
That's
when you
common.
start screwing around with your diet a lot. And
real sad.
women are real good at stuff. So when you say to them, restrict your diet, then you can be real good at restricting your diet in weird ways and mess everything up completely.
Yeah. Forever.
Absolutely. So I help people not do that, essentially.
That sounds awesome.
So dietary, movement, mind-body connection, all of those things are important.
What's your favorite aspect of that. What's your favorite? Oh, let's delve into nutrition. Like,
Maybe none of them, because I also like data and I like doing labs. So that's my favorite part of my job. Yeah. So I do lots of labs to see what's exactly going on and how to pinpoint things specifically. So so whenever you talk about functional medicine, how I think of it is you can have normal health and then you can have optimal health. So you can just kind of be normalized.
That's a mic drop moment right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you say that one more time?
You can have normal health or optimal health.
I want optimal health.
Yes, most people want to optimize their health, right? So I like optimizing health. Thank you.
Okay, so when people come in to see you, what is their motivation to see you? What are they experiencing that has them reaching out to you?
So lots of midsection belly fat. If you see anybody, it's usually like the women who go cardio all the time.
She's looking at us, Molly. Okay.
I'm talking to you.
No, we are familiar. We've actually had some people reaching out to us and discussing how they're experiencing this issue too.
Yeah, it's usually a hormonal issue. If you go do a bunch of cardio all of the time and you just have that abdominal belly fat and you can't get rid of it and you're dieting, you're doing all these other changes and nothing's budging, usually it's an estrogen balance. And
So for someone like Molly and I, because I definitely have this listen, if you guys know who Wanda Sykes is, she does this whole bit about her midsection that she refers to as Esther.
Esther, yeah.
And Esther fucking loves alcohol and bread. And I have one, and it is killing me slowly. So for people like Molly and I who can't take estrogen, it's the saddest thing ever.
Barebacking menopause.
Barebacking.
Earlier, I was saying how I give unsolicited advice a lot. You guys actually can.
We're asking for it.
Oh, love to hear it.
You can have estrogen or testosterone or progesterone. You don't have to bareback your menopause.
What?
Yeah. Mic drop.
Yeah.
So the problem is there are different forms of hormone replacement that you can do. There's bioidentical and then there's synthetic. The synthetic form is the one that you take a pill and it goes through your body and it goes through your liver. And that's the one that causes blood clots.
Right.
And increases your risk for blood clots.
That's the no for us.
Right. So you can do a bioidentical, which can be a cream or a patch. I do
I've heard about these creams.
Yeah, you can put pellets in your butt cheek and then you don't have to do anything. Yeah, I love
Barbara
it. It's great.
put a bathtub in her butt cheeks.
Was it her butt cheek though?
You guys, I made my asshole bleed. Okay? I hope everyone's happy.
We came in this morning and we've met Whitney one time and Barbara sits down and goes, "Can I tell you guys about my asshole?"
Welcome. And welcome.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
And Whitney leaned in, I gotta say.
You did lean in.
I mean, I've seen lots of buttholes, so.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Okay, so now I feel like
you give birth
now I feel
to
like
people.
I have to tell the listener about the butthole.
Let's go.
Okay, let's do it.
Listen, this is going to be an abridged edition because we already had this conversation. However, every month I do a spa day for my animals. So
like everyone does.
I cut their nails, I clean their ears, I brush their teeth, I brush them. And anyways, I was naked brushing my dog.
Why do you bathe your animals naked?
No, why wouldn't you? Because I
get dirty.
I have a pug. I have a pug and I put him on my lap and I have a removable shower head.
Does he not scratch you when you do that?
No, I hold him. So I'm getting soaking wet as well.
Okay.
So I'm naked. I am sitting in the tub and he is sitting on me and I bathe him.
And
that way.
I think about the water.
No,
is it dirty? Are you sitting in dirty water?
No, because it's a shower. So it's a removable shower head. So I put it on and then I turn it off. Then it has a pause button. So I'll get him wet and then pause it and then shampoo him and then rinse him off.
I love that you get in the shower with him.
Well, I have
It's
to. I have to
an
hold
everything
him.
shower for Porky.
He has to feel. His name is Porky Potato, but he has to feel like I have to hold him through it all.
Okay. So you're holding Porky. He's feeling secure.
No, I'm brushing him. So it's before the bathing part, right? But I'm brushing him.
You're naked in
advance. in my bathtub.
Yeah.
Because I, don't want to get hair on my clothes. Obviously, you guys.
Obviously.
Duh. And there is the water spout, right, where the water comes out of in your tub. And then on top of that tub spout is the big...
The thing you pull up
that
to make
you
it a
pull
bath.
up to make it go through the shower or the tub. I thought I was far, far forward of that. I was not. I sat down with all of my might.
Like you just sat on it.
Like as hard as possible.
Oh my God.
And
I'm like clenching.
It was metal, and it was probably the size of like maybe
a nickel.
A nickel. Yeah, almost a little smaller than a quarter.
Violated yourself.
Oh my God.
Vigorously,
and it hurt so badly that I saw spots, and I immediately put my fist into my bum hole to because it hurt so much. I wanted pressure or whatever, and it did bleed. So today I'm feeling better, you guys.
Great. I was going to ask you if it was okay.
I am feeling better. And then when I told my husband, he asked about the bathtub, that if the bathtub was okay, not if my asshole was okay. So
have you done a poop since then?
I have. I did a large one this morning, but I do have a bidet. So
I want one of those.
Oh my God, they're amazing.
It's just the toilet seat attachment. You got to get the toilet seat attachment.
It is life-changing.
It's not a whole toilet?
It's not a whole toilet.
No. I'm sending you a link after this.
Perfect. I thought it was a whole toilet you needed to
get. You just can do it on the toilet lid.
It's called the
Anyone
tushy.
can have.
It's called the tushy.
There's
and
more
I have
than one kind. Do you know? I know people who have it with a hot and a cold.
Well, listen, we have a hot and a cold setup, and we went through all the work because that's a little bit more work.
It's more involved.
It's way more involved. And we never used the hot because here's the thing, at least at our house, it takes a while for it to warm up. So I'm not going to run it up my bum. For like 5 minutes.
Oh, because the warm
warm
water doesn't get there in time.
And I don't know if that's different if you have a toilet. Do you know what I mean?
Like
if your toilet is like that. But I'm here to tell you that I am really against not having a bidet.
You'll have one forever now.
I will have one. I have one on both our toilets.
What do you do when you go somewhere in public?
Well, there is a travel bidet that I got for my brother.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I did, you guys. I got a travel bidet for my brother.
Is it a water pick?
It's just a plastic
water pick.
No, Molly,
just
it is
accidentally giving
not
himself
a
an
water
enema.
pick. It is
How aggressive
It's not aggressive. It's not aggressive enough for me. Like it's just like putting some water.
Just spraying a little water.
We digress.
I'm really happy.
Okay, I want to hear about this cream.
Okay,
that is going to change my life. FYI, we're going to make appointments with you, Whitney, right after this.
Right after this. So I've heard the creams can go a couple different places.
Yes.
Then some of them are private places.
Yes.
And they can make you happier in your private places.
Energize the V.
Energize the V. Oh, can we get it? I'd like that on a shirt. Energize the V.
That's our
that's going
next
on a
marketing.
T-shirt. Yeah. Energize
100%.
the V. We'll partner for that.
Yeah, I want one. So that sounds perfect.
I love it.
Let's energize the V. Tell us more.
Yeah, so you can put it in your vagina. Am I allowed to say vagina? I can say
Oh, yes.
Fuck yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So
everyone's so nice asking if
I
they
might
can
have
swear.
even said vagina.
I actually mark us explicit.
Oh, that's perfect. Then.
Yeah, we're marked explicit. So we can talk about anything we want. It's not for kids. Or
No, I would say, especially after our last story. Then,
Yeah.
Not for children.
Yeah. Keep those buttholes.
We're going to talk about all kinds of different relationships. We're getting topics all the time, and some of them are just amazing. Oh, and we've said vaginal like 100 times.
It's true.
Okay.
Okay, great.
So, yes.
you can put it-
it.
I want to know more.
Yeah, you can put it in your
Energize the bee.
vagina. You can put it like on your inner thighs. You really don't want to put it on your arms or anything like that, but they really just say inner thighs and in your vagina.
So I'm picturing icy hot, which I would not put
It's
on
like
my vagina. And I accidentally have, and it was a sad.
It's
Oh
like this
my
clicker
God.
thing. No, don't do that because that sounds like a
Like
intense
chemical burn.
experience.
Yes.
Definitely is.
Yeah, but it's like a clicker kind of thing, almost like a suppository. So it gives you an exact amount and it clicks. So
okay.
you say, oh, do you want 1 click or 2 clicks?
Oh.
Yeah. So you get
Interesting.
clicks.
Really?
And then you put it in your vagina. Or on
And then
your thighs,
you're magically healed of.
Yeah. Well, so
Menopause.
specifically
So your
for
belly
vagina.
can go?
Well, yeah. So it helps because it's balancing your hormones. You still have to do work. You can't just take the medication and
Of course. Yeah.
magically lose belly weight, but it helps balance you. So then if you keep doing all the healthy things that you've been doing, you will start shredding that belly fat.
Does it help with night sweats?
Yes. Night sweats, brain fog, low libido. If you have any difficulties with intercourse, so if it's painful
Dryness.
or uncomfortable or dry,
Yeah.
it helps with that too.
I know. She's just
I mean,
offering
Whitney
the whole
just
world.
like changed my whole life. I want to start crying. So excited.
So are you seeing a lot of women who are coming in taking Ozempic and triglyptides? Why am I not remembering that word?
No one knows.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Ozempic style.
The peptides and
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, there's
that's
Ozempic, which
made
is a
of.
semaglutide, and
Yes.
tirzepatide. Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh yeah, those are words. Those are the
Tirzepatide.
words I wanted.
It's
Thank you.
Ozempic and Mounjaro. Those are the
Yeah,
ones.
okay. And
Does
so what
those-
I'm hearing is those might melt fat away, but also muscle.
Yes. So I do have people who come in there. I give that to them. I do medical weight loss.
Oh,
too.
you do? Yeah.
So I mean, I like to practice where I kind of don't care what you do as long as it's safe and that you know all the risks and the benefits and like what
I love that.
is happening. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's your life. It's your body. If you want to be on Ozempic for the rest of your life, I'll tell you how to manage
make
it.
that
but,
work.
Right.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so but like in a safe way too. So you're also not hurting your kidneys or your liver or something, you know? So I do
That
like,
is what I have heard is
Yeah,
that
so-
you can damage yourself.
so until you get a good level and you figure out what you're doing, you should do labs like every 3 or 6 months, depending. But once you're like nice and level, you don't really have to do anything.
Oh.
Yeah, so I just do lots of labs essentially to make sure everybody is fine.
Okay.
And then, but yeah, Ozempic and Mounjaro, I call them semaglutide and tirzepatide. That's what I say.
Okay.
And
Those are the real things.
yeah,
that
that's
they're
what
made out of. Yeah.
The actual
Yeah,
names.
not
those are
yeah,
science.
because so I get
words.
my stuff from compounding pharmacies, not big pharma pharmacies, and so they include B vitamins in the shots and stuff, and so you're not just taking just the medication, so it's a little bit nicer on your body because they do cause nausea and diarrhea and that type of stuff. And one of the bigger side effects too is loss of appetite. So
Right.
because you don't have a big appetite, you don't really eat, and then you just kind of take bites of stuff. So it's really important
That's
to
like the
eat
saddest
protein.
thing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, that's probably one of the largest, financial. I mean, let's be honest, financial is another reason, but also the fact that I love eating to the core of my body and I want to
Enjoy.
always love eating.
Yeah, so I did it just because I wanted to try
see what
it.
it's
yeah,
like.
to see
Yeah.
what it was like. And I mean, besides kind of peeing out of my butt for like 2 days,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I definitely didn't dose myself correctly. But
That is foreshadowing for your colonoscopy.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was definitely
Oh, yeah.
like, wow, I just ate 10 minutes ago and here it is.
Oh, wow. That's some
Yeah.
rapid.
Yeah, it was fast. It does make you not want to eat food. Like I would look and say, oh, I'm kind of hungry. And then I'd take 2 bites of something and just, meh, I'm not going to eat anything.
And I've heard that the same with alcohol.
Yeah, I don't drink alcohol actually anymore. I think I only did it for a month. It's one injection a month, and I tried different ways. I tried splitting up the dosage so it's just smaller. It does things, but I mean, I don't need it, which is why it didn't work for me
yeah.
essentially. But
Yeah.
I was just trying it. Yeah, I don't really drink alcohol anymore. Like I'm slowly drinking it again, but it's actually kind of sad to me because I love mimosas and
Well, this is the thing
margaritas
with menopause coming at you and your fully formed brain and everything, the cost benefit analysis on alcohol starts to really plunge.
I would say the opposite.
I mean, it really is so bad for you. It's not good for you.
I think the older that I get, the more I value alcohol in my life. Because I have this might be the sandwich generation part of elderly parents and teenagers.
The stress.
Yeah, it sounds
is
stressful.
super high.
Yeah. And so I feel like I do eat pretty well and I work out all the time, but I do drink on the weekends.
Well, I like to follow the 80-20 rule where you just are good 80% of the time and 20% of the time you can just go fuck off.
Yeah.
I
that
could
too.
do 80-20.
Yeah.
I could do 80-20.
Otherwise, it's
on-
overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like if you like
It's too
drinking, then
much.
drink. Just don't get an alcoholic, really.
I
Yeah, just
don't-
manage
Yeah,
yourself.
I mean, I can do that.
Great.
I've done
glad.
that.
I went out with some friends of mine from when I was younger, and we drank like we were younger.
Rough.
That is a hurtful thing to do when you're older, though. We
Yeah.
were pretty sad, except for one asshole who says after 30 years of knowing him, "Oh, I don't get hangovers." And I'm like, you
This
are
makes
making us
everything.
all drink. That's
This
why
makes-
you're ordering
so
shots
rude.
for
This
people.
makes
This
everything.
is rude. This
Yeah.
is rude.
That's so
You know
funny.
we're going to suffer. And I guess
Yeah.
that's the thing. Some people don't get.
I didn't really get hungover until I hit 30, and then all of a sudden,
And then
I was
everything
Like,
Oh, yeah.
crashed and burned.
Yeah. Wait till you hit 40. It's
I think I
it
want to wait.
doubles.
I don't want to go.
It doubles for
yeah.
sure. So what you're seeing the most is midsection. We'll call her Esther
Yes.
with women
Yes.
having a problem. And is Ozempic or something of that generally what people are looking for, or?
It kind of depends. So I like to say I do like a personalized thing for everybody, but depending on what your symptoms are, and because I love data, I kind of really try and get everyone to do what's called the Dutch test.
Ooh,
Have you guys heard of that?
No.
No.
So it's a urine test that tells you exactly what your hormones are doing in your body. So
What? No,
Yeah, it
that
tells you
they
exactly
only
what's
ever told
going.
me if I was pregnant with that with the urine test. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
or
super
if you
cool.
have a bladder infection or whatever.
So you can do that test, and it tells you like how your body processes estrogen and the pathways it uses to get rid of it. It tells you which pathways are blocked so that we can then supplement you or do things or give you foods to promote or decrease something that's happening that's not working out for you.
You don't have a lab in like where you are though.
Yeah, so what I do is the Dutch, I just send it to you, and I believe it's a 24-hour urine test, and it gives you all the instructions. As long as you do it within 24 hours of starting, you have to decrease your water, which is what most people hate because you can't really drink too much water while you're doing it, and you can't have coffee. So yeah, that's the biggest part. People, yeah, and you have to test at
Wow.
a certain time in your cycle. So to let us know.
What
What if you
you're
don't
having-
know?
So if you don't know, then you can test anytime you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if you're having a cycle roughly once every 6 months and then 3 times in a row and then not for 7 months and then, I mean, not being specific about anyone here, but
So if that's the case, if you haven't had anything, you can just test whenever. If you've had a cycle, you want to test, technically you should be testing like 7-ish days after you ovulate. So if you haven't ovulated or if it's not happening, then you can do it whenever.
And just to explain to those who might be listening who don't know that much about menopause yet, I mean, this is
Boo.
you are not officially menopausal until you're 12 months without a period.
That is correct.
So you're just peri for
Like 15 years.
yes.
Right. And the other thing is some people may not know. So I had an ablation about 12 years ago.
What's
so
an ablation? I'm picturing a little TNT guy on the lining of your uterus, like blowing up.
That's kind of what it is.
Well, a little
okay,
bit. It's
okay,
like
yeah.
it's like a scraping. They took everything out of me. So, because I had endometriosis stage 4, and so they went in and like just took everything out. So I haven't had a period since for like 12 years.
So endometriosis is extra thickening of the lining. It just gives you real bad pain. I know that
it gives you
much.
bad cramps.
Do you know more about this than us?
I do.
Let's play a game where Molly and Barbara try and define a medical term really badly, and then
you do it correctly.
finally toss it to the person who knows. Yeah.
So endometriosis is when you have uterine tissue in other parts of your body. And
What?
Yeah. So there are lots of studies out there. No one knows exactly what happens, but you know how, so you guys, so you have your uterus and then your fallopian tubes connect like your ovaries to your uterus.
Yeah, they're like the little, like if a guy was
little
flexing,
Right.
if you were flexing,
Yeah.
they're the little arms.
Yeah. So they don't touch. Right. So some studies say that because they're not touching, whenever you're going through ovulation and your period, sometimes the particles just don't make it back into your uterus.
Okay.
Does that make sense so far? And
Yep.
so because they don't make it back into your uterus, they go somewhere else in your body. They just sometimes they don't dissolve properly.
Okay.
Do you remember
And it, like,
that movie,
spreads.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Oh, Jesus
That's what it
Christ.
is. It's the little spaceships just go out to the wrong spot.
Yeah, that's so true. And then because that tissue responds to your hormones, whenever you get a period, it starts bleeding. And that's what causes the pain, is because you're bleeding not in your uterus where the blood can leave.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So when you had an ablation, they just cleared the area of everything? Is
Yeah,
that-
so
All the spaceships?
all the spaceships.
got rid of all your spaceships.
Yeah, who was that? It wasn't Martin Short. Who?
No, it wasn't.
Starts
No,
with a D.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You got those out. That's what an ablation
Yeah,
does.
it helps with the lining of your uterus. I don't know specifically. I don't do ablations.
Yeah.
Know specifically, but
So
it's to help.
do you take insurance?
Oh, so could you explain the American healthcare system to us?
Yeah, so in America, the health system really likes to treat you when you're already sick.
Correct.
Right.
And-
No preventative.
Correct. And so functional medicine is very much, obviously people have issues, but it's more so preventative care.
Right.
I get a lot of women that come to me because they've said that their hormones they feel wacky or they feel weird, but they've gone to the doctor, their provider who accepts insurance, and they get all their labs done and they tell them that they're normal, right? Because they just do like a couple of labs.
Yeah, I was actually going to
run-of-the-mill.
ask you about this earlier because you were like, oh, I get labs, I get tests. And then because this would happen where people would say, did you get labs done? And I would say yes. And then they would ask me about a specific test and I wouldn't know what they were talking about. And it made me realize that the word labs is pretty vague when
It's so vague.
it's so vague.
Right.
And so people keep asking, oh, have you tested for menopause? Have you? And I've never had a test like that.
So what
And
is all the stuff that you look at?
Oh, that's such a big question.
That is a big
Such a big
question.
question. Yeah, so you can get testing. So a lot of times, like I just had somebody, I do lab analysis for people too. So they've gone
Yeah.
to their doctor and they get labs. And she just got her follicle stimulating hormone done, which helps you ovulate.
Barbara got all in the follicles.
Yeah, so it's a follicle stimulating hormone and a luteinizing hormone, which helps the follicle stimulating hormone get higher. And then her estrogen levels. She just got those 3 levels done.
Okay.
And they came back and it was normal. But she has all of these symptoms of everything. When I do tests, I do those, but I test your E1, your E2, your E3, which are the 3 estrogen levels in your body.
Okay.
And without like explaining all the other labs, those 3 labs, like people don't do them because they're like, oh, why would you do all of those labs? It's kind of stupid. But it's getting a bigger comprehensive view of what's going on, which is why I do all of the labs so that you can figure out exactly what's going on, like where the problem is.
So it may be that her estrogen would be overall normal, but maybe it's a 1 in one and 19 in another one.
Yes.
Right? It's
Yes.
making it more. So the average might be normal.
So they test for the E2, which is the normal estrogen. You lose your E2 whenever you go through menopause. And so that's the big hormone for women.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but they just don't test the rest of them. So I think a better example would be your thyroid. So everyone, I feel like it's their thyroid tested. We all talk about your thyroid, right?
So I got my thyroid tested.
So you get your TSH done, and some of the times they catch like hypothyroidism when your thyroid's too low.
Right.
But then in functional medicine, the window for it being too low or too high is smaller because we don't just do, oh, it's normal because you're not having any symptoms yet. We can't treat you yet. It's not normal and you're about to need some treatment. So,
Okay, that's where it's heading. That's where it's heading.
Yeah, so the window's shorter. So you have, it's called subclinical hypothyroidism, where the regular doctor is like, no, it's fine. But you come to me and I'm like, actually, you have hypothyroidism and need to get checked out more. And I do more labs like antibodies and your T3 and your T4 and your T3 reuptake and your T4 reuptake and see which part of your thyroid system isn't working.
And that goes back to it being more preventative, right? And looking at the whole person as opposed to you're already broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's give you something.
I like to do that about diabetes too. So you get when people who have diabetes, it's really hard not to have diabetes anymore because it's such a big lifestyle change that you have to do to get rid of your diabetes. And then when you're a pre-diabetic, you will most likely get diabetes, right? But we don't treat anybody. Well, we treat people in pre-diabetes sometimes, but we kind of wait until you're a diabetic before you get medications. But when you're pre-diabetic, we're like, oh, well, we should focus on this and maybe kind of help. But you will probably become a diabetic unless you really know what's going on and make really big changes.
Okay.
So if you come to me, I start treating people when they're like a pre-diabetic so that they don't even get into the pre-diabetes state or the diabetes state. And it's just a lot easier to prevent damage. And because once you have damage, you can't reverse the damage. So you can go back from that state.
Do you have another question?
Yeah. So what would the process kind of be? So someone, I'll just use myself for an example. So
no
says,
interest, no personal interest.
I mean, nothing personally about me, but so if I were to come to you and say, hey, I've got Esther and I'm having hot flashes and whatever. What's the process kind of that can someone expect to work with you for 6 months? Can someone expect to see you every week? You know, how does that kind of...
Well, and let me also interject that there's the crazy. So you have the extra, you're holding weight, you're having hot flashes, and then you also have the crazy in your brain where your brain is forgetting everything and you have fog and mood swings.
Is that pointed at me?
Well,
I think it's a general
supporting personal knowledge of the situation, I think is what we're really dealing with.
Yeah. So what I do is I give people this intake form and it literally talks about
another intake form,
everything about you. Yeah, it's pretty long, but it's pretty intense because sometimes like your hormonal imbalance can be related to just your diet or just how your body processes your food. And so I need to know if that's a test that would be worthwhile to do. You know, because
so you're not just throwing people's money away?
Correct.
Oh, that's weird. That's a weird business model.
Yep. So I do that intake and then I do like an hour initial visit. So I go over the intake and I tell you all of the things that I could test for and that we could do. You know, there's this GI gut test that's really, really great. It's called the GI map. And so if you do the GI map with a Dutch test, it gives a more comprehensive view, but it's pretty expensive. So we can choose between the two, or you can choose to do the Dutch in the beginning and then do it later. But I do that intake and then all the tests comes back maybe like a month later, depending on how long it takes, because you have to do it during a certain type of time on your cycle and when you have a chance to do it kind of thing. And then it takes, I think, 10 days to result. It's like 7 or 10 days. You have your initial visit, and then so I do 30-minute visits. So I see everybody twice a month. And as long as you're not doing that initial or we're doing lab review, it's 30-minute visits every other week. So I do, so my program, it's called 5 to Thrive. And so it's 5 months to thriving, essentially.
Oh,
yes.
That's such a good...
I love that little marketing catchy. 5 to Thrive.
Yeah.
Oh, that is amazing.
5 to Thrive, V to What was it?
Avoid it. I don't know.
V. What
Energize
was
the
the t-shirt?
V.
Energize the V and
Energi-
5 to thrive.
In addition to all of these things, another journey that I've taken on between the internet and reading and everything else is the whole gut health microbiome. Does that overlap with what you're doing, or is it?
It's pretty much the same thing.
Okay, it is. The food is medicine.
Food is medicine. That's like the basis of functional medicine.
So are probiotics in your tell me
I do
probiotics.
give probiotics.
Throw some knowledge on probiotics because
Well, there's different types. So the biggest thing that when people get supplements, you have to get supplements from a company that does third-party testing to make sure that it's even distribution of the medication or whatever supplement that you're getting with each pill.
So maybe not Amazon.
I mean, some companies are great. Like I use Designs for Health is the product that I use, and then Pure. I think that's the other one.
does it have a sign over the U? The pure
PUR.
PU.
I don't think so.
I don't think
blue
so.
and
Is
white.
that a water? I think
Oh,
that's
it is the water filter.
That's a water filter.
We
That-
both
yeah.
have that water filter. Okay.
All right,
sorry.
not that.
Not that.
No,
A
but
different kind.
but so if you want to get supplements, you can get them from Full Script. And most people know about Full Script. So you can get supplements.
I know nothing, and I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
So you,
Yeah.
so I use them. They have hundreds of different supplement companies on there, and they do their own testing to approve the companies that are on their specific site.
Wow,
and
this sounds interesting to know about.
yeah, and then I go even further and only pick the even top ones that you like. But you can kind of pick any supplement from that website and know that it's going to be a pretty good supplement. But it's full.
So you're
script.
not just throwing junk into your system and
Yes,
hoping
I like to
something
avoid
happens.
doing that.
Wow. I mean, this is really unavoidable.
So you're going to do gut health support. You're going to pay attention to hormone levels.
Yes.
How long before women working with you start to see changes?
5 months.
No, that's
5 to
when you
3.
feel amazing.
That's like amazing. Yeah. So it really depends. If we are able to really pinpoint, it depends on how fast we're able to pinpoint stuff. So once we start making changes and you're able to start implementing it on a consistent basis, because a lot of it has to do with just people's ability to just do the
To
things.
follow the things.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you're doing everything, it can take 4 to 6 weeks to like
Even on the
feel
weekends,
good.
guys.
Even on the weekends, yeah.
Even on the weekends.
You can feel things from 4 to 6 weeks, but sometimes sooner. It depends on how motivated you are and how receptive your body is. It's hard to put a pinpoint, kind of like saying when's your due date. You don't really know.
So here's what I'm going to propose on air is I'm going to propose that Molly and I really go down this path with Whitney, and it's a write-off.
Oh, a tax write-off? We'll look into that. We'll
it's
look
a
into
tax
that.
write-off.
What is it called for
flawed
study?
femmes.
Yes, for business
study purposes.
Yeah.
Well, what I've and then we can come back is what I'm saying.
You know what? I'm a fan for that because all the reviews I can get of all you ladies talking about how
Yeah.
great I am.
That's right.
Perfect.
And so then coming back and being able to really explain and process what we have experienced, because we've been talking about that really in the future when we have guests that we need to experience what's happening, right? Molly, if you want to be the control group, but I definitely don't want to be a control group, or we could have
I
none.
have other questions that I know women have that I want to ask. And one of them is,
can.
let's talk about the breast cancer thing. So is this what I'm gathering in my own personal research is that this is was a debunked study or something along those
Yeah.
lines. Can you flesh that out for us a bit?
So there was this big study that was done that compared, it was Premarin and Prempro. So it's like an estrogen pill and a progesterone pill. And the estrogen pill was derived from horses, specifically horse urine, which has 21 types of estrogen in it, and we only have 3.
Okay.
Because we were
Horses
Go
be
horses.
estrogen.
They have lots of estrogen.
so much.
They have 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have more in their ejaculation.
Well, they're big.
That's Okay.
I don't know. Sorry. I don't know.
Barbara's real weird. Okay, let's go.
It's true.
Let's go.
love
So
it.
yes,
So, yeah,
I had heard that it came from horses, and it doesn't seem like the most humane thing either to taking all the estrogen from horses, but from their urine.
No,
It's from their
pee.
That's
It's from their pee. It's
That's
fine.
okay. All right.
Yeah, they
fine.
probably
All
like
right.
had them in pee bags or something.
Pee bags. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would assume.
I would hope.
So they did that study, and they had two parts of the study. I think there was a control group and a non-control group, and I can't remember the super detailed specifics, but they didn't realize that the Premarin, oh my gosh, there's Premarin and Prempro. One is the estrogen, one's the progesterone. They didn't give it to the people correctly, and so
So it was the application or the distribution was incorrect.
was
Interesting.
incorrect. But
Yeah.
also because we were doing a synthetic estrogen, it was inherently causing breast cancer and blood clots and all of that stuff.
Oh, so this is really interesting because when I had my stroke and I was under 30 when I had it, I met a woman who was a neurologist, but she was in her 70s. And she was one of the only people who wasn't surprised when I had a blood clot that was related to estrogen. And because she remembered when the pill first came out and they didn't have the levels right.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh yeah, I used to see women all the time throwing clots right and left because they didn't have the estrogen. And now it's much more finely crafted and you're seeing less
yes
of
and no.
it. But
It's the synthetic. Synthetic estrogen is run by big pharma, which is why people still give it and still have it and are still taking it and
it's
have all
cheap.
those risks, and it's cheaper. And it's like the same estrogen that's in birth controls. Birth control gives you a higher risk for blood clots, and then depending on which birth control pill you take, they have different levels of the estrogen in it, so you have higher chances of getting clots and all that kind of stuff. And then so you do bioidentical, which is identical to what we already have.
Right.
And it's made chemically.
Yes.
Okay. So what is a compounding pharmacy? Because you see that a lot. Facebook has realized that I talk about menopause and stuff. So I'm getting just targeted ads for compounding labs, but I don't quite understand what one is.
Yeah, so technically what it is just a pharmacy that makes the medication there for you, and it's personalized, essentially.
Okay.
In a very
Interesting,
general way. I mean, that I can order trizepatide, which is the Mounjaro.
Yeah.
And I can order the trizepatide with a vitamin B added to it.
So
That's a
that-
because they
compounding
make
pharmacy.
it for you.
Because they make
it's a
it
compound.
there.
Yes. Yeah, but they mass produce it that way.
So they have a different deal with drug manufacturers where they're getting just the ingredients.
Yeah, so it's
So that's why it's less expensive in some cases.
So the drug companies are making it and selling it themselves. And then
Okay.
it's less expensive because they're charging a ton, but insurance is covering them.
Oh, gotcha. Insurance.
So they're still making a ton of money, but insurance is paying
But they're
for part of it.
bypassing.
And then you still pay whatever, $20, $5 or $10. You still have a copay,
Right.
Yeah.
which they're still taking.
Okay. That's really cool to learn about and place some context with, because I'm sorry, if you're getting an ad on Instagram or Facebook, you have the way with AI right now, you can't tell the difference between a back alley drug deal and a legitimate organization with your best interests in mind.
Well, you
And
can't order
totally
from a
true.
compounding pharmacy unless you have an NPI number. So
I know what that is, actually.
you have to apply for it. You have to have a license to apply for this number to then be allowed to order medication.
That totally
nobody,
makes sense.
not just a random person.
Yeah, so you can't
can
just
do
order
it.
anything from it. Yeah.
If someone can't reach you right now and is considering their options and they're in perimenopause or menopause, what are one or two things that you could tell women that would improve their life right now?
So something super simple that I tell people and they do it, and some of them are like, oh, I feel like no difference, but some people feel a difference, is it's like a tea. So if you do hot water and lemon, fresh grated lemon, and fresh grated ginger with lemon.
Ginger
Lemon
with
and
lemon.
ginger. that helps
Oh.
detox your liver. So that helps pull all the toxins and helps you metabolize your estrogen.
That actually
and converts
sounds
it
Do
over
you
to-
grate the
You peel it and
lemon
then you
as
grate
well?
it. No, I accidentally said that.
But I want to grate a lemon.
you probably
You could-
could.
you
You just
could
need lemon in
zest
it. You could put some lemon
Zest
zest in there.
that shit.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's really. I think it's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I do that.
That seems like
It's a very simple
great
thing.
option besides drinking 11 cups of coffee a day. That I could probably work
disagree.
that in. I could probably work a couple of those in and replace a few cups of coffee. It could happen.
I mean, it's possible.
Another thing is doing if you drink like a glass and a half of water in the morning before you drink coffee is also a good way to.
So I actually just started doing this.
Yeah.
Because I heard it on a podcast. Before I was taking some immunity support stuff before bed, and then I just changed it to a pill with a glass of water, and I have to take that every morning before I get to have my coffee. So for me, it's really do the thing and then you get the reward. My reward, of course, is coffee.
Is coffee.
Always coffee. But so I've just changed to drinking a glass of water
Before
right
your
when I
coffee.
wake up.
I love the price tag on that too.
Right?
Yeah, it's a
They're very
real
great
sweet
things.
one. Yeah, between that and the tea, those are absolutely things that could be done yesterday.
But on the other side of the coin, what is the most wackadoo thing that you should definitely not do to your body that's might be trending around right now?
HIIT training.
HIIT training.
Yeah.
What?
No.
We've been had.
Wah. Yeah.
If
So,
wait a
HIIT
minute.
training-
Wait a minute. Are you gonna throw Tabata in there?
Tabata, it's like a 4-minute super
Tabata
intense.
No, Tabata is 20 on, 10 off.
Well, that's HIIT training.
Yeah.
Son of a fucker.
So HIIT training is
Hold on. High
when
intensity
you do
training.
high intensity
Interval training.
interval
Yeah. Hold on.
training.
Hold on.
HIIT.
What in
Yeah.
the hell? Okay, because this is my whole
So
life.
you do
Sorry.
short intervals of really intense work.
Yes, which
with a
I
short
do
break.
constantly.
It's not
Okay.
very good for you.
Oh, okay.
Say more.
So does this also have to do with how high your heart rate goes up?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just like the intensity is too much. And I honestly don't know the specifics. So sorry about that. But
Yeah.
I
Okay.
do know it's not very good. So one of the things that I ask people whenever they work with me is if they do HIIT training and then we stop doing HIIT training.
That is literally my lifeblood. I do a whole lot of that, but what I have started to kind of do, like with running and stuff like that, is instead of sprinting and then walking, I'll do running faster and then jogging. You know what I mean? So that it's not a huge spike.
Yeah, but doing a lot of cardio also like doesn't really help you either.
I had heard
Okay,
that.
guys.
I
Which is
had
like
heard
the
that
same
and
vein.
rejoiced.
Yeah,
I
it's
rejoiced.
like in the same vein of HIIT training, like doing lots of cardio and doing HIIT training. They're like the same general reasoning that doesn't really help you.
So doing a lower impact does, though, right?
Yes,
If you're
it's like consistency.
walking.
It's more about consistency over intensity. Oh. So if you consistently like
This
work
is-
out like 30 minutes a week, a day for like 3 to 4 days a week, you are doing more for your health than doing cardio or
Okay, this is a very sad day for me, you guys. Because
can do
I
it,
am,
though, as long as you
I am much
cut it
more of an
back.
intense person than I am a consistent person, as I think we can all agree on. Absolutely. I
love it.
Absolutely. So what is the one thing that the listener should walk away from today knowing, other than
is there
Whitney
anything that we didn't ask
rocks
you
the
about?
world? Yeah. Yeah, anything that we didn't ask that you wish we had, or a little
What
nugget?
don't we know we don't know?
Well, I like to say, like, we talked about how food is medicine. And so there are lots of people who think that they are eating healthy, but you still go to the store. If it's packaged, it's processed. So just remembering that, and that can help with a lot of your hormonal imbalances, because processed foods and packaged foods, they can depending on what's in them. Some people have clean things, but they mess with your estrogen balance. So because it messes with your estrogen balance, it's technically considered a toxin, and then it's not very good for you. And a lot of women do the same with their makeup. You have to have a clean makeup. I know I'm blowing your mind.
Yeah.
Your makeup so the FDA doesn't
Regulate.
It regulates your makeup, but not in the sense of exactly what's in it.
I think the FDA just got fired, so they're not going to be around anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, like they kind of half-ass the regulations. So you can put things in makeup to make it essentially toxic to you. And most women don't know that.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go and Whitney is gonna look at all of our makeup and our food.
I have something to do after this podcast.
Oh my gosh.
The other thing, and we could do this as a review if you wanted to, is a lot of women experience hair thinning.
Yeah.
So what are some of the ways that hair thinning?
That's like the only thing I don't have.
And they
I have everything but that.
You do have a good head of hair.
I'm Italian.
Although I have noticed I don't have to shave my legs every 5 seconds now, which is nice. It's like, oh, you're not this lush, nubile being. But also, consolation prize, you don't have to shave your legs every other day. So
Whatever.
That is a perk.
Yeah. It is. What are people using for hair loss?
I feel like I can't answer that because it's still like a hormonal imbalance. So once you just balance your hormones in a general sense, you will stop losing.
It goes away. Oh,
come on.
Damn.
So it's not really like a specific thing. Like, yeah, sure, there are things out there that can help with your hair loss, but it's a hormonal imbalance.
Okay, I have one last question before we say goodbye.
Okay.
Whitney, I want to know if during you have the menopause and then after. post menopause, do you go back to normal?
No, so
Son of a fucking bitch. Fuck.
Yes, tell us more.
also, I guess it depends. So do you mean if you were taking medication, like how long do you take it for? Or
no, I
like,
just meant life. Like,
Just
can
like
I?
mentally, physically?
No, it doesn't get better. You just are there.
Oh,
Does that make
okay.
sense?
This
So
is
if
my
you have,
new
like,
normal,
if
is
you
what
have-
you're saying to me.
So if you have hair
Fantastic.
thinning, your hair will just be thin all the time. Like you'll just have it.
So wow,
Oh.
this is we're ending on a real high note, right?
But let's just say COVID happened and then you got really unfit and now you're 50 and you're really unfit. Are you going to be unfit forever? How?
No.
Okay.
So one of the really big things is that so when I was learning about functional medicine, they tell us that you want to train your body for the next decade. So when you're when you're in your 30s, you're training for your 40s. When you're in your 40s, you're training for your 50s. Because one of the biggest things that we can do, especially as women, is to strengthen our bones and make sure we don't have
Yes.
osteoporosis and
Yes.
the brain health. So another nugget is Alzheimer's is considered type 3 diabetes. Have you guys heard that? It's a nutritional
What is
imbalance for your brain.
happening
Yeah, just right at the
right
very
now?
end, right? But yeah, so if you are eating healthy and maintaining protein intake is really important. That's why everyone talks about eating more protein. It's really, I feel like I'm just saying a whole bunch of stuff, but there is like,
That's why we're here. It's so fun. Say a bunch of stuff.
Absolutely.
We can always have you come back on a specific
For
topic too.
there's, I believe it was a study or this new research came out that directly correlated your health decline with your muscle decline, which is why everyone pushes protein so much. So if you're eating a bunch of protein, then you're not losing your muscle and then you're strong and then your bones can be strong because you know how when you lift weight, it strengthens your bones.
Right. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. The
So
resistance. Yeah.
Right. So if you're not having muscle and you're not strengthening your bones, they just become weaker. And because you're losing your estrogen, you're not building up your bones as much. So it's kind of like
Wow.
this big, it's literally your whole body. One of the things that people don't understand is it's literally your whole body, affects your whole body. Like what you
Right.
eat affects your brain and your hormones and all that
Wow.
stuff. Yeah.
That's amazing.
There's hope for us.
If there's
There is.
any way to avoid or delay any type of Alzheimer's, I'm in.
Well, right now, my mom has Alzheimer's. So there was a study that said there's a 30% decrease in the risk of Alzheimer's if you are physically active daily. One of the things that was talked about was that if there was a pill that you could prescribe to someone and would lower your chances by 30%, everyone would do it, right? Nobody wants Alzheimer's.
Exercise.
But exercise
wants
is like,
to exercise.
no, thank you.
I was listening to this guy and he was like, yeah, if we could sell weight loss programs and you swipe your credit card and you automatically have a 6-pack, everybody would do it.
Everybody do it. Yeah, absolutely.
We don't like doing work.
We're in for the long haul.
We are.
Everyone. Oh, Whitney, wasn't
this
lovely?
was amazing. I've really enjoyed having you on. I can't wait to have you back.
Yay.
And we've got some notes here that we're going to be consulting.
We're going to be writing this off. We're
Yeah.
going to be writing this all off.
I'm going to be making some tea out of ginger and lemon. That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Also,
I
I'm
think
a
it's so good.
beekeeper, so the honey is going to get in there too.
You have bees.
Yes,
I want bees.
Oh, you do?
I do want
I'll
bees.
mentor that shit.
right.
Yeah, we'll get you some bees.
You
We'll
guys-
get
you
we'll
guys
hook you
do-
up with some bees.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm super
You
excited.
guys do some bee talk.
We'll do some bee
I love
talk.
it.
We
have
should
a
have
whole
a
garden,
bee.
but I need bees. Yeah, I have 5 acres.
Oh, you're getting bees.
I need
You're
bees.
getting bees.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
we're gonna
happening.
make this
I
happen.
need
It's a happen. Well, thanks for listening.
This was a very informative day. Oh, we forgot to do our intro. Yeah.
All of this. Thanks for joining us today.
Don't forget,
Be fucking fabulous.
flawed femme.